There we go. Took long enough for it to get in there. So I'm short, take this off, short inside of this fair value gap. All right, so stopped. That was small risk, about 0.5%. Which is, that's minimal. But that retracement is deeper than what I would have felt comfortable taking. I wasn't expecting NASDAQ to come all the way back up into these last two up close candles, this fair value gap here. And there's your TP. Right at the open. So got stopped. NASDAQ hitting targets. It is what it is. Not gonna feel any type of way about it. But I'll use that loss as a small little teaching point. In the past, that invites going on tilt. Okay, a lot of people probably feel some type of way about going short, getting stopped, and then seeing something like this run in their favor. Okay, all those targets getting hit, but that's trading. It's not the market against you. It's not the market makers. I'm not even blaming it on market conditions. This is just a matter of stop loss placement. Wanting to see this fair value gap take us lower. Okay, I talked about how I don't want to see this one traded to. Okay, we ended up coming right back here. Okay, if I'm being honest with you, this is a retracement that I was not expecting. And all my good executions, my best shorts, it will be fair value gap, stays open, lower half of this 5-minute SIBI, setting price lower. And then you'll get your short speed underneath this low, and then all the targets obviously here. But there is no FOMO, there's no beating yourself up, negative talk, self-talk. There's none of that going on. Is what it is. That's one of those instances where if you get stopped and then price runs in your favor, especially if it does it aggressively like this, that's one of those instances where you just say, okay, I got stopped. It wasn't a matter of not knowing where price is going. Okay, we're looking for shorts, so that's when you give yourself a little cookie. You're on side, you have the right direction, you have the right targets. It's just a matter of stop loss placement and possibly entry. And then you keep it pushing. Manage your risk. That was 0.5%. Very, very easy to recover. And then you look for another setup. You don't go on tilt. You don't gamble. You don't revenge trade. You don't look to try to jump in short here when it already hit your targets because, I was right anyway. My bias was right. I'm going to get something out of this move. And you try to chase it going lower. Just if something like this happens and it runs without you, you just accept the fact that you weren't on board, but you were on side. Guilty. I got stopped out. Getting stopped out is fine. Because think about it. Losing is so I'm not saying it's not normalized, but losing, too many people put emphasis on losing. Who cares if you lose if you're managing your risk? You could take, hypothetically, okay, let's say you lose 3 more times, but this is all 0.5%. You guys see me trade on stream. Normally I risk around $500. This was less than 300. So it's even if you get stopped out here, or let's say you take another trade, let's say you went on tilt and you tried to buy this fair value gap, go long, or buy something in here, whatever, and you lose again, and it's 0.5%. You can lose 3, 4, 5 trades in a row and make that back next trade or the next 2 trades. So it's getting stopped out. Getting stopped out is not the That's not what kills you. It's the risk management and your emotions going on tilt. That's what takes a lot of people out of the game. That's why when I get stopped out, I just be laughing. I'd be like, dang, like I was a turtle in somebody else's turtle suit. So like, I don't feel any type of way when I see this. Is it nice to make? I think my first target down here was like $600-$700. Would it be nice to make that? That would be amazing. But I'm not feeling some type of way. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm not beating myself up because of something like this. Like, it's part of the game. And I manage my risk. If I manage my risk and I keep losses small, I know my next setup, if it's a win, it's going to cover that previous loss and then some. So it takes all the weight, it takes all the stress, it takes all the emphasis on losing. It takes away the importance of winning and losing because you're managing your risk. So what stings more, this is just me and my trading. And I'm watching to see if NASDAQ wants to reach that new week opening gap down here. But what really stings more, is when I try to sell this fair value gap and NASDAQ rallies higher, like 500 handles, and I was completely offside, like my bias and direction was completely off. That stings more than something like this happening. Because as long as I know that I'm on side and I have the right direction and the right read on price, we talked about the failure to trade above the midnight open. We talked about this price run here, failing to get back above Asia's low. I saw that as heaviness, and then it drops. So I'd rather see something like this be on side and get stopped out than try to short this fair value gap. And my whole analysis was wrong. NASDAQ went all the way up here. You know what I mean? Because I know, when we get really, really clean markets, and I think this is clean. Admittedly, it's a deeper retracement than what I would have liked. But other than that, once we get really, really smooth markets, and I continue to stay on side and call the levels and whatnot, then stuff like this, it's going to be clockwork. So we chilling. But you just can't over leverage. You can't over leverage and you can't revenge trade.